In order, you join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call for the record. Mayor Lindsay,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Here.
Councilor Crane,
Here.
Councilor Weeks,
Here.
and Councilor Humbert.
Here.
We have a quorum. You may proceed.
This time I'd ask for a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I could please get a motion for the approval of the consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
We didn't have anyone sign in this evening, so we'll move on to announcements and proclamations by the council. Anybody has anything? Oh, thanks. I'll just take this opportunity to thank everyone involved, but specifically Councilor Humbert and our tourism director, Greg Ralph, for our beautiful new sign that's finally up and working. Around town, so I just want to recognize the folks that really helped get that moving. Moving on, Manager Weir would like to recognize our HR Director, Tammy McClendon, for her human resource certification.
Yes, so, council, through the budget, y'all have, approved and invested in our staff on multiple occasions. All the ability to accomplish these goals. We've seen some other staff who have reached their certification levels. And so I just like to bring these to the council's attention to know that, the money that you've approved for training at the village is well spent and is being utilized well. I would like to read this letter. This is from New Mexico State University, their New Mexico EDGE division, which is in charge of education for the government's agencies within the state of New Mexico. This says the New Mexico EDGE education designed to generate excellence in the public sector program is proud to confer upon the designation of New Mexico Certified Human Resource Professional to Ms. Tammy McClendon. You have successfully completed all the requirements to earn this important certification, and we congratulate you on your commitment to your professional development and lifelong learning. And we have this certificate, which somebody took all of our frames, so I have to get a new frame, Tammy, but I'll have this to you. And for everybody, this is Tammy McClendon, who is our HR director. And congratulations. So it's a big jump because she was our tourism director for several years. And so, you know, you don't have to be too smart to be a tourism director. So her to jump and become an HR director, which you have to have a lot of intelligence and a lot of patience, is she's been great. I think everybody here at the village really appreciates the professionalism that Tammy has brought to the HR position here at the Village of Angel Fire. Thank you, Tammy.
Thank you.
Tourism Director, Greg Ralph, I believe he has a presentation to make.
I don't know if I can handle it. Mr. Mayor, Council, Manager Weir, and our esteemed audience. I have a special thing I get to do today. When I moved to Angel Fire a little over 6 years ago, I was marketing director for the resort, really didn't know anybody in town. I was living in the Eagle Wing at the hotel for a few months. I think on my third night in town, I went to Pizza Stop. Walked in, introduced myself to Trini Bradley, told her who I was. She whips out a Pizza Stop locals discount card, gives it to me and says, "Welcome to the community." I've never felt like a local as fast as Trini made me feel. So thank you for that. I had the privilege of working with Trini at the resort. She was in the call center, I was in the marketing department. We worked hand in hand together. And I learned about how much she cared for people. She never let anybody's birthdays pass. Anytime there was an opportunity to recognize any of her coworkers, she did it. She throws herself in for everybody in the community, not just her family or something that's personal gain. She cares about our entire community. Working with her now, it's like a history class. She's got 35, 36 years in this community. I'm fairly new. She brings in old pictures of what the resort looked like when the Angel Fire Boulevard wasn't even paved. It was a dirt road that curved around. She shows us things, tells us stories, sort of gets us up to speed on the cool history that we have in our community. I appreciate that a ton. But to me, Trini is the soul of Angel Fire. Nobody gives more, cares more, and shows more community pride than Trini. She's also pretty good at using her connections to raise money when needed. With that said, it is my honor to present the very first Spirit of Angel Fire Award to Trini Bradley.
I'm sorry, but I didn't have my resort in here. Hey, get over here, resort.
Need me in there.
I love my resort.
You love everybody.
I do.
Thank you, Trini, for everything. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Oh, I'm gonna cry.
Moving on to staff reports. We'll start with our tourism director, Greg Raff.
You miss me? Okay, little recap. Memorial weekend visitation was very strong. Good lodging reservations from what I hear from lodging providers. And over 3,000 people attended the Bull Fiesta. So that was a good start to summer. This weekend, some lodging providers that I've talked to are reporting record occupancy numbers coming up. Real high, like almost full for a lot of these providers. We have a lot of stuff going on. We have Balloons Over Angel Fire, the first Cool Summer Nights, first farmers markets, mimosas on Main Street, and the Porsche Club event are all happening this weekend. So we've got lots of entertainment for all these people that are coming to town. Looking forward to a strong weekend. Little information on our ad performance so far is very strong. We launched the third week of April during the planning and research season for people. They aren't really booking big summer vacations yet, but they're starting to think about it. And knowing our markets have a lot of new population and a lot of growth in Texas and other places, we wanted to be in market early during the planning and research season. We started receiving about 100 bookings a week. We're now at 500 bookings a week. So we really kicked in on lodging reservations, and that's direct bookings through our website that refer out to our lodging providers. So it's outpacing right now the peak ad performance we had for winter. So looking at the numbers on our advertising, I'd like to be able to say we're gonna have a very busy summer. So, and you can hold me to that in September if it didn't come through. Couple unique things. Albuquerque in booking is leading Dallas right now. It's interesting because we're still spending more money in Dallas. That's our destination market, longer stays. We know we get a better return there, but we're getting a lot of interest out of Albuquerque. So it's kind of funny. And Phoenix is outpacing Austin.
Oh,
I said a month or so ago that Phoenix is starting to show up in our demos. Phoenix is really clicking in. Try to do some research on it. Some of the people in Arizona are feeling that their mountains, Flagstaff area, Sedona is a little overloaded, so they're looking for another destination. Great, we're the next destination. Come on, Angel Fire. Our advanced airlines campaign started June 1, so I've only got, a couple days on that. I think we've booked 2 flights so far, but there's a start. In the last few weeks, we've picked up 904 new Facebook followers, 1,300 new Instagram followers. Meta is merged the Instagram, Facebook advertising, a little different. Instagram's not as expensive, and you're starting to see that platform grow. Our event intent, so far, over 12,000 people have clicked on it. They had planned on attending Balloons Over Angel Fire, with 9,000 people already clicking. They want to attend the Blues Fest with the Fabulous Thunderbirds. So that's pacing pretty well. So we've got about 25,000 people so far total that have clicked on specifically to attend events in Angel Fire this summer. Our visitor center traffic has picked up dramatically. We're averaging about 40 visitors a day now, so that's very strong. And it's interesting, in this order, it's Dallas, Albuquerque, Phoenix, and Houston that are showing up over there. We had 2 groups of Phoenix people today in the visitor center. So if you're gonna buy some ads for your businesses, you might wanna look at Phoenix. Any questions for me this evening?
Must be a lot hotter in Phoenix right now than Austin.
Yeah, it is. It's 108 already.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great, I'm gonna get you.
Get me to trick you into coming here.
Next up this evening, we have our finance director, Adrian Rendon.
I'm gonna make this really quick because my stuff's nowhere near as interesting as Rex is. All I really have for you is that, we're getting ready to go into the next fiscal year, and so the premiums are gonna be going up for the health benefits. The village pays 80%, and so I've got a sheet here that I'm gonna run a copy of it and hand it to you, but in essence, what's gonna happen is the village is still gonna continue to pay the 80%. The 20% for employees is what's gonna be going up. The single employee is gonna go up $81.75. Employee plus spouse is going up $184.16. Employee plus children, $146.69. And family rate is going up $241.13. Now, this is per month, not per pay period. So, other than that, the only other thing I have for you is Kosh is in the middle of migrating our licenses. And when they finish doing that, we're going to be seeing Teams implementation here within the village. And so we should be moving from Zoom over to Teams. Is that what you're going
Mr. Mayor, Council, Director Rendon, can you give us an update on the budget, please?
Oh, yes, sir. So right now we're in the pause in between the interim and the final. And so it's just a little bit of dialogue that's being traded back and forth between us and what his name just went right out of my head.
Joshua.
So
The budget's effectively been accepted and all went through fine.
yeah,
There was a couple little additional pieces of information, but they didn't give us any, there were no kickbacks is what I call them.
yeah. So Manager Weir had told me, hey, whenever you submit these, be prepared. It's gonna be a nightmare. You're gonna have dozens and dozens of kickbacks, and we didn't have that. So I don't know what's different between me and him, but I managed to get the budget through the first time. So it's getting buzz. So I think I should probably go sit down now. Are there any questions?
Anything further for Mr. Rendon? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Up next, we have our Public Works Director, Kurt Epler.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Clerk Strickland, Manager Weir. Just a couple items to report this evening. Streets Department will continue work on the event center tomorrow. All utilities should be complete for the venue and the food trucks by the end of the week. Placement of base course in the parking areas will continue tomorrow. And also we'll be doing last minute preparations for balloons over Angel Fire. That's what Streets Department will be doing. In the water department, we have finally received a quote and are moving forward with a vendor to come in and clean some of our main sewer lines out. Particularly in the core area, we have approximately 6,000 feet of sewer line, 8 and 10 inch, that over time has accumulated different materials and has led to numerous backups over the last few months. Process will be they will be cameraing the sections of pipe starting with where we've had the most issues and use a process to clean them out with equipment that's beyond our capability. Hoping to be able to start that work by the end of the month. Any questions in regards to that? I will say that there, it's various things that have caused plugs and want everybody to understand that it's a progression over time. It's not that somebody is up there plugging the lines right now. Grease buildup from restaurants, condominium use, everything is just going to accumulate over time on the inside of the pipes, and their capacity has been diminished. As well as we had one place on Bell Avenue where we had significant mainline sewer break 2 years in a row. And it's safe to say that when those breaks occurred, some material made its way into the sewer. Nobody in the water department and nobody that I've talked to could remember the last time any kind of cleaning was done on those sewer lines, and they were essentially the first ones put in here. So I hope to get good results from that. GM Emulsions will be starting to move equipment in tomorrow to start the grading on roads that we are going to be paving. When they come in, they're going to pave South Angel Fire Road from Highway 434 all the way to North Angel Fire Road to Bill Burgess Boulevard. Aspen Street from South Angel Fire Road to Vale Avenue. Squaw Valley from, as long as they get approval later for it, Squaw Valley from South Angel Fire Road to Vale. And we are also going to pave Jackson Hole, which, if you recall, we approved to be paid last year. We ran out of time. They are going to do all 4 of these roads while we're here. And the target right now, weather permitting, is the week of the 23rd to be ready to start laying pavement down. Any questions? That's all I have.
Thank you. All right. Up next, we have our Parks and Rec Director, Shay Tiblish.
Good evening. Good news, the plumbing is supposed to start on Monday to repair all the pipes, and they're gonna put in pretty much new pipes, tear out a lot of walls, fix everything. And that's supposed to start on Monday. They're gonna fix all the drywall and everything like that. I don't know how long it's gonna take, but I have a feeling it'll take a little while to get that done. But the good news is we should, after that, have running water again.
And just to be clear for everyone listening, this is at the community center.
At the community center, yes. The west side porch, we have it engineered with plans, and we're just waiting on a contractor bid. We're waiting on one, and then we're thinking about getting another contractor to bid on it also, and hopefully get that started soon. Those are the top priorities at the community center right now that we want to do. So we can hopefully be able to have music from Angel Fire there. Trash to Treasures had to go elsewhere. Excuse me. They're going to be at the airport just because they couldn't access that west side wall, and it's a little difficult without having water and trying to keep that many people. There's a lot of reasons why you shouldn't have things there. The gym floors were tested, and it showed that they are holding air. I haven't got the official test results emailed to me yet. And I've also been waiting for an estimate on a boiler to fix the boiler and to add like forced air to the center. luckily it's now summer, so I'm not as dire of need of that, so I'm trying to get the first two done as soon as possible, so we can get back to pretty much regular, regular function at the community center. I didn't have any applications for day camp this year. I'm hoping to maybe still receive something so we could still do it, but with that being said, it would be better to have working restrooms and bathroom and all of that. I think that's maybe a good thing that I don't have it staffed yet, just for a lot of different reasons. So maybe it'll get fixed, maybe I'll get an application and we could do a day camp, maybe just for 1 month of July or whatnot. Trash to Treasures, I just said that relocated. I'm still optimistic to have Music from Angel Fire there, like that's the goal that we're shooting for, and they come in August. The Frank Young Trail, we have bids for engineering and we're going over them. We do have 2 of them, 2 different companies that we're gonna go over and then try to make a decision on that. Allen Fields, we're planning on going on concessions and the bathrooms and such. It'll be after July 1st for the new fiscal year, to have it in the budget for that. The rest of it, I know Public Works is working on digging lines and all sorts of stuff out there for that. And we have a couple tournaments, the 21st, 28th are 1-day tournaments here in Angel Fire. And then July, we have a 2-day one on the 19th, the weekend of the 19th. And then we'll have more in July too, but those are the ones that I know of right now. And I think that's it. Anyone have any questions? No? Thank you.
Thank you, Jerry. And finally, this evening, our fire chief, Jason Vance.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of council, Manager Weir, Village Clerk Strickland. I'll start off with our run report for the last 30 days, and I haven't had a staff report for about the last couple of months, so I'll just speak about this last 30 days for the run report. We've had 75 run total. We've had 29 EMS and 46 fire calls. Our slash report through April, May, and June, we've had about 2,500 cubic yards of slash dropped off, about 290 yards picked up, and we processed all of that, so we're just shy of 3,000 cubic yards for just the 3 months. Pretty good start to the year. The village slash ordinance is being revised currently, and we will be presenting that to council soon with some of the modifications to that. We anticipate being able to accept pine needles and accept stumps on a fee basis. But until we work out the payment portal and details of that, we won't have that ready to pick up. As for now, pine needles can be taken to solid waste as they have been in the past. Currently, no one is taking the stumps. The defensible space ordinance, since its inception, Lindsay Reed and Captain Romo, who are both present here today, just wanted to say thank you both for your hard work on this. They have completed 37 successful insurance letters for defensible space ordinance reviews. They've had 55 requests, so they're hitting that hard and hopefully get many more successful requests. If you need more information for that, it is on our website. The short-term rental fire inspections, since its inception, we started that process. The self-inspections, we registered 383 self-inspections. We did several spot checks this week and everything looks good. People were complying by that. Lots of information on evacuation planning, fire extinguishers, smoke detectors, fire pit safety, kitchen safety, etc. If you're interested in that type of safety, go onto the website, just open up the STR form and all of the information is there and you can just back out of the form before you complete it if you want any of that. This month we had a state fire marshal inspection. This typically serves as the precursor to our ISO inspection. We will get a notification from the ISO team that we'll have a rating and review. From that point, we will have 1 year to make sure that we dot our I's and cross our T's and maintain our training records. We are currently a 5/5X, depending on how close you are to a hydrant. Any questions about that? If you're within 1,000 foot of a hydrant, you're a rating 5. If you're over 1,000 foot of a hydrant, it means that water is brought to you and you're a 5X. It's also based on staffing. Our inspection showed significant improvement from the last inspection. I believe that was in 2020. So we're hopeful for a reduction in our ISO once we get that notification. Fire inspector training, we have Mr. Marcus Smith, one of our firefighter EMT eyes. He's in Albuquerque this week, getting his firefighter inspector certification to kind of help, carry the burden from the state fire marshal's office. We've also had 4 new hires, 3 of them in PRN positions on the fire department side, and 1 18-year-old young man who's participating in Captain Romo's YCC program that we asked for funding for, participating in that grant, and he's covered by the grant. So we're happy to have them on board. We've had many updates to our website, again, acknowledging Lindsay Reed, thank you for your hard work on our website. I think Lindsay, in combination with Shay, has kind of worked out getting a lot of those updates. We have a lot of information on there. If you have any questions about the fire department or information on scheduling business fire inspections, defensible space assessments, short-term rental fire inspections, / permits and policies, et cetera, go on our website. It's pretty comprehensive. A note on emergency management. We've been working with H2O partners for over a year. They've given council a presentation. They are working on getting an executive summary for us to kind of limit that 580-page report down to something that's more palatable for us to be able to review. I'll be presenting that to council soon, but make sure that you have enough time to review it before we adopt it. Fire Station 1, we're currently in design phase. This most recent phase, we've been waiting for geotechnical soils report, which we have received this week. We've been collaborating with the architectural team, structural engineer, and metal building manufacturer for a kit design. We are expecting to have a full working set of plans and begin going to permitting process and RFP, hopefully by, don't hold me to it, but August. I did want to take this opportunity to discuss burn bans. We've had a lot of information floating around through social media circles, et cetera. The Enchanted Circle Regional Fire Protection Association on June 7th report. We get a bi-weekly report. I share that with some of you. They measured 15 different indices that rates the village on its viability or cautionary, they rate the village on its susceptibility to wildland fire. Right now, we're sitting at about 22 points. The next point of caution is at 29 points. So we're sitting in pretty good position. While we respect our partners in the greater Colfax County area, we don't always follow their burn bans. So our differences in elevation, topography, fuel moisture content, and most importantly, our ability to respond allow for local departments to enforce their own response areas and burn bans. We encourage, as always, safe burning practices, such as avoiding ember producing fires, having a water source nearby, and never leaving a fire unattended. Please refer to our website, which is updated regularly for burn ban information. Your local grocery store is not a good point for distribution for the Village of Angel Fire Department. Lastly, we've been working very hard over the last 3 months for the Balloons Over Angel Fire event. We will be operating this year for the first time, to my knowledge, under the Incident Command System for Safety and Structure. Tourism, police, fire, and public works have been planning this event for about the last 3 months, and we're looking forward to the most successful and safe event. I stand for any questions.
Thank you. For our staff reports, moving on to committee reports. Does anybody have anything to share this evening?
Mr. Mayor, the Roads and Infrastructure Committee is going to meet this Thursday at 1 p.m. and public's invited. And we'll be focusing on a rewrite of Chapter 7 of the Village Code.
Fantastic.
Presently, the Comprehensive Plan Committee members are working and coordinating with the roundtable that we'll be having following the full meeting.
And that'll be on Greg, Saturday the 21st.
June 21st, Saturday, about noon start.
And that'll be at the hotel. So if anybody's interested, we'll have all the committees present at a table, each having their own table for the public to come and get a better understanding of what the village's goals are and what the committees are all working on, the progress they've made. Okay, without any old business, we'll move on to new business. Item A public hearing will now open. The Village of Angel Fire will present the following to the public. Repeal Title V, Chapter 2B, Section 19, Escape from Custody. repeal Title V, Chapter 2B, Section 19, escape from custody is now open for public comment. Title V, Chapter 2B, Section 19, escape from custody is now closed for public comment. Item 2, proposed ordinance 2025-07, unlawful prowling. Ordinance 2025-07, unlawful prowling is now open for public comment. Ordinance 2025-07, unlawful prowling is now closed for public comment. Item 3, infrastructure capital improvement plan, ICIP. Session for infrastructure capital improvement plan, ICIP is now open for public comment.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, Administrator Weir, and Clerk Strickland. I have our current projects that are currently on our ICIP. This is, of course, something that we change every year because different priorities happen. Projects get completed. Funding goes away. If anybody wants a copy of the current projects, like. So, like I said, these are our current projects. The ICIP, the Infrastructure Capital Improvement Plan, is not a funding source. This is a 5-year planning tool for capital projects that the village is going to try to apply for funding, apply for grants for. When you apply for grants through the state, they will ask you, is your project on the ICIP? And you want to have it on your ICIP. So we're looking at, fire station, police station, water tanks, things that are lasting a good long time in their capital infrastructure. The next planning for projects is for fiscal year 27 to 2031. The department has to be meeting tomorrow at 1:30 to discuss new projects. There will be a ICIP work session, public hearing on the 17th at 3 o'clock. We'll discuss, the department heads will discuss their recommendations for projects presented for council. Rate and rank project listing. The final submission will go to the state with all the required paperwork. Resolution 2025 will be submitted to council for their approval, pending the approval of projects. Everything is due to the state by July 11th. And I'll stand for any questions anybody may have about capital infrastructure projects.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Session for infrastructure capital improvement improvement plan, ICIP is now closed for public comment. Moving on to item B. I'd like to open discussion to approve the repeal of 5-2B-19 escape from custody. Clerk Strickland.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, councilors, Manager Weir. This item, escape from custody repeal, was brought before you about last month. Reason being is in village code, it's currently a misdemeanor, but at state level, it's a felony, so there's no need for it. So we're going through the formality. It's already been posted in the Taos News, and I just need your vote. If it's a yes, then I'll post it again for an additional 5 days. And I'll stand for any question.
There's no questions. I'd ask Mayor Pro Tem how to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve repeal of 5-2B-19, escape from custody.
Second.
Roll call vote on item B. Mayor Pro Tem Howe.
Aye.
Counselor Crane.
Aye.
Counselor Weeks.
Aye.
And Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Moving on to item C, I'd like to open discussion to approve ordinance 2025-07, unlawful prowling. Clerk Strickland.
Mr. Mayor, councilors, Manager Weir. This in conjunction with the repeal prowling ordinance was brought up before you about a month ago. Same thing, we're going through the formalities. It's been posted in the paper and, before you have a copy of the ordinance, if you'd like. And I'll stand for any questions.
No further questions or discussion. I ask Mayor Pro Tem how to make a motion.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2025-07, unlawful prowling.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item C. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
On item B, I'd like to open discussion to approve the Village of Angel Fire to participate in the Firewise Community Program. Chief Vance.
Good evening again, everyone. As you know, most wildfires are human caused. Since the adoption of our defensible space ordinance this year, we've taken the first step towards making our village safer by reducing our exposure around homes from spreading fire to our neighbors. All of the language in our DSO was backed up by language directly from sources like NFPA and Firewise. With that, I'd like to bring up Wildland Captain Romo for a brief presentation.
I wouldn't call it brief, it's about an hour long, so, no, it's just 5 minutes, Mayor Lindsay, Manager Weir, Council, Ms. Strickland and members of the audience. I give you the Angel Fire New Mexico, proposal for NFPA Firewise program. So when I was with forestry for 20 years, I was their, Firewise kind of liaison to our liaison to the state forestry office in Santa Fe. And then from there, we kind of get people and different people in the neighborhoods, geographic areas, communities, kind of the Firewise recognition program. And it's free of charge. It's all volunteer hours. And, you know, when I used to do it, Rio Doso, we used to have like $10 million worth of volunteer hours, and all like, well, how is that possible? Like, so they were doing like anything that was pertaining to grants, agreements, equipment and all that, and adding it towards the volunteer hours. So I think with what we're doing now in the community with Fire Adapted and the Slash program in our DSO and with the fire department, I think we're just gonna excel in this. And like I said, it's free of charge, and the benefits, they're gonna be nationally recognized as a Firewise community. We will. And, you know, it's kind of apples to oranges, our DSO compared to the Firewise kind of recognition program. This is nationally recognized through NFPA, National Fire Protection Association. So a lot of the insurance companies, they'll give discounts and they'll allow people to retain insurance. For the past couple, 2-3 years, I've been kind of fighting the insurance companies for the residents of Angel Fire, and it's kind of a uphill battle. But I think with this recognition program, it's going to really help foster, a lot more insurance into Angel Fire. So next slide is the Firewise USA program, of course, is administered by NFPA through all the sponsors listed right here. U.S. Forest Service, the state forestry, state foresters, NMAC, all that. Next slide. So every year, devastating wildfires burn across the United States. At the same time, a growing number of people are living where wildfires are a real risk. These wildfires will continue to happen. These are things you could do to prevent your home and neighborhood as well as your family safety. The Firewise USA program is here to help you get started. So how to become a Firewise USA site. So you got to organize it. You got to create a board or a committee. We already have one with the Fire Adapted committee. So I went to them the last meeting and they voted for it to become a Firewise community and take it to council. That's why I'm here today. Next slide. So Planet, the board or committee will collaborate with the local wildfire experts. So this is really important here. We're going to invite all our federal, state and local partners, especially Mary Stuber out of Cimarron district, because she's our hub to get the national recognition stated. And then, I'll work with Lindsay and we'll just get, community involvement. If we won't have a quorum, of course, but we'll probably get Jake Crane and a few members to be there. And, we'll go do an assessment of the whole community. And, I'll come up with the community wildfire risk assessment. I'm guessing it's gonna be about 30 pages long, but, I'm willing to take that on, for us to become a Firewise community and give the, fire adapted, committee, something to work with. And then we'll work on, identifying some stuff, that needs to be changed or stuff that we're already doing, according to our community, wildfire protection plan. There is a lot of stuff in there that we could be, doing. And one of them was become a Firewise community. So we're gonna really excel there, I think. The assessment is a living document, needs to be updated every 5 years. So NFP just requires you to do it every 5 years just to see if you're maintaining, the requirements and all that stuff for it. So the board committee will use a risk assessment to create a 3-year action plan, broken down by the year. And then, the community investments along with homeowners actions, education. So anything we're doing, like say chief goes and talks to kids about fire safety at the school, that's gonna be used towards those hours. And we'll help the fire adapted committee with all the tracking and all that stuff of it. So I think it's gonna be great. Next step. So do it each year, neighbors, complete educational risk reduction. So here's that reporting investment. You get $25.43. That's like per what their NFPA is charging, like for your time. If you donate like 60 hours to education, you could add that on there. So you just need to be in good standing status. So every year we're gonna get Mr. Overby from the Fire Adapted Committee to get all our, ducks in a row, all our paperwork, and he's gonna submit it online through NFPA Firewise site to stay in good standing. So that's a good thing. Here's the form that we'll use. So, name, date, community, dwelling, wherever we did it, landscaping, and a lot of this stuff, like Chief Vance is saying, came from, us, kind of mimicking it for our own DSO plan. So. Collaboration with forestry fire related experts. Again, we're gonna bring in the best of the best and get a good solid plan going. And then, anything that they're kind of doing with us and the residents, we could add that to that volunteer worksheet. Education, we're already doing all this. So, I think, we should be recognized for it. So all that is part of what we're gonna be doing for the Firewise USA. Yeah. And some expense examples, chippers, plow equipment, rentals, all that stuff. We're already doing it, like I said, so, might as well get recognized for it and help out the community. Application process, so again, we'll get everything going. And, Chief Vance and I, we're talking and, I said one month that we should become a Firewise community and, he's the same too. I think we came up with like 3 months, to do it. So, and if we don't get called on fires and all that, but, I'm sure Mary could help out a lot. She's our district forester out of the Cimarron district. And then what happens next? We'll get all that paperwork and application and send it to the state liaison, George Stecker, and, then he'll send it to NFPA and they'll kind of present us with the plaque. They'll give us a sign for recognition. Chief Vance and Lindsay and I were talking about, maybe having a plaque for each structure, each dwelling, each property that is kind of doing Firewise kind of operations. About it. I stand for any questions.
Thank you, Captain.
Yeah.
I'll just make a closing statement, just by stating that, Firewise empowers us to protect our homes and our community. Provides practical steps. Many of those steps were already taken. We're 95% of the way there. Some of the shortcomings that we have, something in our long-range plan is we'll have to work a little bit harder on our home hardening, as far as planning and zoning and being able to build structures without, we don't allow wood shake shingles now, but that's an example, or wood siding. There are home hardening techniques that you can do and implement into your building code. It would help us go a long way towards long-term goals. As well as working on our evacuation routes, which we were working with the comprehensive plan. So really, if you look at it, the Firewise and you review some of that documentation that's up there for Firewise, we're already there. Why not get the national backing so that when we present a letter to insurance and saying, not only have we checked it out with our fire department, but it also has the backing of Firewise backed up by NFPA. Any questions? Thank you for your time. Thank you.
There's no further questions or discussion. I'd ask Mayor Pro Tem Howe to make a motion.
Make a motion to approve the Village of Angel Fire to participate in the Firewise Community Program.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item D. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Mr. Mayor, if I could say, I'm having work done on my lot where my house is by a contractor. The lot next door has quite a bit of dead and down. My contractor contacted the owner and they easily gave us permission to go onto that lot and pull out that dead and down. So we're getting good cooperation in that instance.
Yeah, and we are, and Councilor Crane can speak more to it, but the goodwill, good
Good
neighbor.
neighbor, Chief Vance has been working on a draft of a good neighbor, basically a permission, so that if you have an adjacent property that you'd like to do what Mayor Pro Tem is doing and ask for permission to go thin some more adjacent to your structure, that's exactly what that letter's meant to do. I'm glad to hear it went easy in your case. In some cases, you know, an indemnification letter or something may be required, and so we're hoping to provide that as kind of an easy answer for those that are in that situation.
Mr. Battershell.
Yes, I would like to go ahead and find out how to do that also, because I'm here during the summer, probably till October. From anywhere from Trinidad down to probably Roswell. So if you have those letters, let me have them, and if I can find out whose property around mine, I have no problem doing that. Because I have one of those chartered, unimproved lots, and that's about the best way to do it.
Sure, I think that letter is still in draft form.
Okay.
So typically that would go draft to committee and then committee to get approved by council before we publish it. I don't think that's long away, but I don't have a delivery date on it just yet.
Okay, does that do away with litigation for any injuries, liabilities? Because if they sign that off, they can clean the whole lot as far as I'm concerned.
It's a step in that direction.
Okay, that you are working on it.
We are, yeah.
Okay. Moving on to item E. I'd like to open discussion to approve a resolution 2025-29, FY 26 holiday schedule. Clerk Strickland.
All right, Mr. Mayor, Council, Manager Weir. This before you is the holiday schedule for fiscal year 26. We do one every year. There's 13 holidays on it, paid holidays for the non-essential staff. And that's all I have. Any questions?
There's no questions or comments for Clerk Strickland. Ask Mayor Pro Tem Howe to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2025-29 fiscal year 26 holiday schedule.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item E. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Moving on to item F, I'll open discussion to approve employee donation leave policy. HR Director Tammy McClendon is online.
Good evening, Mayor, council members, Manager Rear, Clerk Strickland. I come before you this evening requesting approval for a leave donation policy that would allow employees to donate excess leave to colleagues during difficult times, such as serious illnesses or family emergencies. This policy would allow employees to donate leave that they may otherwise forfeit at the end of the year. Promoting a sense of community and teamwork, donated leave would be used to support employees who have exhausted their own leave due to unforeseen circumstances. And it would foster a positive work environment and demonstrate our commitment to supporting employees in their time of need. I thank you for considering this request, and I stand for any questions.
Mr. Mayor, yes, I just want to say that this would be, if approved by the council, adopted as an administrative policy. In the interim, we are taking another shot at the personnel policy to fine tune it. And in that process, this will come before you again in ordinance, but we're asking as an administrative policy now so that we can start taking these actions. Because it'll be several months before the personnel ordinance comes before you again.
There's no further questions or discussion. I ask Mayor Pro Tem now to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the employee donation leave policy.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item F. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Item G, I'd like to open discussion to approve the purchase of a new motor grader outright. Director Epler.
Again, Mayor, Council, Clerk Strickland, and Manager Weir. What we're proposing is rolling out one motor grader and rolling in a new one. We received a very favorable trade-in allowance on the 7-year-old motor grader we wish to trade in. We're presented with multiple options of lease purchase and outright purchase. And after running the numbers and having the money in budget, felt that the outright purchase option made the most sense this time. Stand for any questions.
There's no further questions or discussion. Ask Mayor Pro Tem how to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve purchase of a new motor grader outright.
Second.
Roll call vote on item G. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Item H for discussion. Approved to pave Squaw Valley Road to improve drainage conditions. Director Epler.
Yes, as I mentioned earlier, this is a project we want to do and to coincide with the paving of South Angel Fire Road, Aspen Road, and Jackson Hole. We reached out to GM Emulsions to see if they could fit this project in while they were here. As we all well know, when we get the paving crew here, it's great to get them to do whatever you can, so we don't find ourselves in October wishing we had new pavement. This project was funded partially out of the 304 fund, $103,000 to be exact. The remaining out of 2023 GO bond. Stand for any questions.
No further questions or discussion. Ask Mayor Pro Tem how to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve the paved Squaw Valley Road to improve drainage conditions.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item H. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
Thank you.
Our last item on the agenda, item I. I go to discussion to approve policies, procedures, and guidelines, code of conduct policy for the fire department. Thanks.
Good evening again. I propose to update our code of conduct policy. I don't know when the last one was voted in, but it had some definite gaps within that policy. So we have vetted that through legal and with human resources as well. It allowed them and Manager Weir to take a look of that code of conduct policy. And would like to update that just for housekeeping purposes, as well as our personnel policy and policies and procedures. These two documents are important for us to receive funding, to make sure that they're updating, make sure that they're updated and, grants, et cetera. We have to have these policies in place. The last, policies and procedures were in 2020. And, there were several holes in those, so we've addressed several of those concerns, and, I believe you have them in front of you. Any questions about any of it?
Any further questions or discussion? Ask Mayor Pro Tem how to make a motion.
I make a motion to approve policies, procedures, guidelines, and code of conduct policy for the fire department.
I'll second.
Roll call vote on item E. Mayor Pro Tem Howe,
Aye.
Counselor Crane,
Aye.
Counselor Weeks,
Aye.
and Counselor Humbert.
Aye.
Motion passed.
And finally, this evening, we have our manager's report. Manager Weir.
Mr. Mayor, Council, and Clerk Strickland, just a few items. For the Monteverde Lake subdivision water line replacement project, we have run into some delays due to coordinating locates of power, internet, and telephone lines. I have made arrangements for tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock that people from Kit Carson to meet with the surveyor and hopefully get that behind us to try and get that project back on a good time schedule. As you may recall, we need to have the engineering work done by August in order to submit the request to the Water Trust Board for funding of that project, which even though it's a handshake in our conversations with the governor, she said that if we were able to get that project in by August, that she would support it as far as having funding from the Water Trust Board. So that's pretty important. I just want to keep y'all updated on that. On workforce housing, right now we're waiting on the geotech test to be completed on that property, you know, because of the rain. That property has been difficult to get their heavy equipment on. We are looking to do that on Monday or Tuesday, and hopefully that will get us back on schedule for workforce housing, hopefully to be able to be completed in the September-October timeframe. We did do the final walkthrough on the Village Hall remodel after a year and 2 days of work in progress. But we did make it through the final walkthrough. And so that project is complete now. We're gonna continue. We gotta wait till next year's budget, but there are some additional investments we're gonna make. We're gonna change all the door handles and locks to a lever type handle to be more ADA compliant. Well, we also applied for a grant, I think Director Lyra told y'all about in a prior meeting, so that we'll have ADA compliant to front door access that are ADA compliant. And all of that's gonna happen in the July, August timeframe after the next year's budget gets started. Finally, I just want to give you all warning. This is our final meeting of the fiscal year on June 24th. So there's going to be a heavy schedule on that agenda. And I want to make sure you all get plenty of rest and eat before you come to that council meeting on the 24th, because it'll be quite lengthy. So just be prepared for it. So once a year meeting that we just need to wrap a lot of things because it's the end of the year and the beginning of a new fiscal year. That's all I have.
Thank you, Manager Weir. Thank you, everybody, for attending. This meeting is adjourned.